All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. You ready for some high-speed action tonight? Let's step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to the cornfields of Iowa.
This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series Xfinity. Race number 2 of the season. They are at Iowa tonight. It's 175 laps, and these guys have got their work cut out for them. Man, this track is a lot of fun, a lot of room to race here, but this thing can get away from you in a hurry. Who's got what it takes to claim Iowa Speedway tonight? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's watch it right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, a little Iowa Speedway in action for you tonight. Race number 2 of the season. This is going to be a great one. A lot of drivers out here tonight. Let's get this party started. All right, thank you so much for coming in here to TurnLeftTV, to the YouTube channel. Appreciate you joining me here tonight. And I think we got a good one here for you. As these guys behave tonight. It's a little cold everywhere except for the southern hemisphere. Up here in the northern hemisphere, it is cold, cold, cold. All right, thank you for joining me here tonight. I'm your broadcaster commentator here at TurnLeftTV, Heath Johnson. And this is race number 2 of the season. And again, it's Iowa Speedway tonight. Round 2 and 175 laps here tonight. A little bit longer. These guys had actually asked for a little bit longer race tonight. They thought the original, what I had up there, I think I had 125 up there. They thought that was too short, so we added some laps there for them. 175 laps here tonight, and we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be a fun race. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you're interested in an rFactor 2 server, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. That is EliteHostingUSA.com. Not only server packages, how about some WordPress hosting, online store hosting, VPS hosting, and shared web hosting, all available through EliteHostingUSA.com. As you provide our service here at High Octane Racing League. Don't forget to join us over at HighOctaneRacing.net. Get a quick link to our Discord server. That's where we do most of our business. And then obviously you'll get the updates and schedules and point standings and quick links to the TurnLeftTV broadcasts of the races. And speaking of TurnLeftTV, thanks so much for joining me here on TurnLeftTV tonight. Appreciate everybody's patronage, whether you be watching live or on replay. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Let people know it's out there. Get that algorithm talking. And also hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Thanks to all those new subscribers and all the people that hang around here and suffer through the TurnLeftTV broadcast. And don't forget to smash the bell. You get updates when races are going live here on TurnLeftTV. I love doing this, man. I have a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but I really do have a lot of fun. And really, the stars are out on the track here tonight. Take a look at the schedule here in the Buschwackers Series. Race number 2 tonight, 175 laps. Next week we'll be at Daytona Road Course. That'll be a fun one in the Buschwackers series. Michigan International race number 4. You see Nazareth finishing out the first half of that season. We've got the Daytona duels, man. I mean, like, we are really going to be getting into real Daytona here pretty soon. The Daytona duels, 2 races coming up, the 35-lap races on February the 9th, and that'll going to set a little bit of the starting order there for the Daytona race on February the 16th. Atlanta follows that, then Las Vegas and Phoenix. So a great back half of that season. We got a different look to this season, Daytona Road Course. We're going to be in Daytona. Hey, we might as well just spend the rest of the year in Daytona, huh? Oh, man, that's going to be a fun one, man. We got some more racing headed your way this weekend. How about the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series in action? And they will be at Gateway coming up tomorrow. I'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. It's race number 4 of the season, 150-lap race at Gateway in the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series, and that starts at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. High Octane Racing League Saturday Night Thunder will also be at Iowa this weekend. That's coming up tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Beat the broadcaster night. 175 laps in the Cup Series at Iowa coming up at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is tomorrow. Don't forget about the Tough Trucks. Those guys will be back in action on Tuesday. They'll be at Atlanta for race number 6 of the season. That'll be a fun one, man. I've been racing in this series, and a lot of fun. Martinsville was a lot of fun this last Tuesday, and we'll see what Hot Atlanta has in store. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's what time that race starts, a 100-lap race at Atlanta. Well, Iowa Speedway is a really fun track, in my opinion, and thanks to Alex Pudi for getting this track out here for everybody to race. Let's take a look at this track. Just under a mile in length, 8/10 of a mile, almost 9/10, 1.4 kilometers. And a D-shaped oval, banking in the turn 12 to 14 degrees, the front stretch 10 degrees, and the back stretch at 4 degrees. There's a lot of room to race here. There is a bump there between turns 1 and 2 that can upset the balance of your car, and that's down a little bit in that low lane. Right there, somebody was talking to me. But I think really a lot of room to race here, but I tell you, it's easy to use up your tires, get the car loose too, and give you some false sense of security sometimes. You get 2 or 3 wide at this track. Fun track, man. These guys are headed over to the qualification session. So again, tonight, a 175-lap race. And it is race number 2 of a brand new season. Looks like John Stanley headed out of the garage area out to get his qualification laps in. The 12 car, one of our Canadian drivers. John Stanley in the die-hard sponsored Ford Mustang, the 12. His qualification attempted. 2 laps, 2-time laps here for quals. .23.138 for John Stanley. Franco Alvarez, top time here so far, 22.879. All Chevys there, 1 through 4. Stanley with lap number 2. Looks like starting position here is super important. 3.190 for John Stanley, up to 4th. Top Ford on the grid here so far. Gordon Carter looks like he has finished up his ball lap. Got Dana Grover here in the Toyota. 8.79 is the top time. Vieira just behind in second. 9/1000ths of a second. 89 Dana Grover racing for Trax VR here tonight. Alvarez the top time. Vieira second. Richter third. Marizon fourth. Hughes is fifth. 23.310 for Dana Grover. A little bit of work to do for that 89 car. Dana Grover is 8th on the grid there for him. Looks like he's backed off that second lap. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the 19 car. His qualification attempt. Fast in this second sector there. So 22.881 up to second on the grid. 2/1000ths of a second, man. Can he better it on the second lap? So 2/1000ths of a second back. Wow, that is tight. Eduardo Spindle in the 68. His qualification attempt. .23.237 for Givaldo, up to 9th on the grid for that 68 car, burning those right side tires up. You got to be really careful there doing that in the race. .3708 9th on the grid for Givaldo. And I think that right there will guys usually take the first 5 minutes to do quals, so it looks like that will do it for them. They got 5 minutes left. They'll do the drivers meeting. That'll allow us to get a few things taken care of here. Well, thanks so much for joining us here on TurnLeft TV. Appreciate you being here. And let's get this party started. All right, we're back. These guys still technically in the qualification session. And again, thanks for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, broadcaster commentator here at TurnLeftTV, owner of the High Octane Racing League. And 170-lap race here tonight, race number 2 of the season. And it is Iowa, the cornfields of Iowa. And a great track for stock cars, also a great track for Indy cars. We were actually at Indy cars last weekend. So, what a fun track, man. I think I like it a little bit better in the Indy cars than I do the stock cars, to be perfectly honest with you. But, hey, not bad in either one, really. I want to take a look at the point standings while we have a chance to take a look at those. So Franco Alvarez with the win at Bristol leads in points. Todd Rubillard is second. Sean Jenkins third. Claudio Bardelli Jr. sits fourth. Ritzky Novar is fifth in points. Craig Marizon sixth. John Stanley seventh. Tony Furtado eighth. Gordon Carter ninth. And Dennis Udichin sits 10th in points. Take a look at P11 through 16. Eugene Fedorov is 11th. Dana Grover 12th. Omar Peixoto is 13th. Valdo Spindle 14th. Jelson Neto is 15th. And Chris Hughes is 16th.
A lot of soul.
Get some chatters in here. A little Trax VR action happening here. It's good to see Fireball Flash, Trax VR, chatting it up. Claudio Bardelli Jr., Givaldo, of course, starting us off here tonight. Those guys, thanks to Trax VR for providing those guys, the sim racers a place to race. Really cool facility up there in Calgary. See, been on their website. Check that out. Dana Grover racing with Trax VR tonight. And look how they're supporting him, too. That's pretty cool. Coming out here and supporting him in the race. Looks like these guys have finished up the qualification session. Switching it over. And we'll take a look at the results. Franco Alvarez with a 22.879 starts P1. Outside row 1 will be Claudio Bardelli Jr. Archer Vieta, Dan Richter start in row number 2. Craig Marizon, Chris Hughes, a couple Chevys there in row number 3. John Stanley in the Ford starts 7th. Sean Jenkins will start in 8th position. Givaldo Spindle and Dana Grover, row number 5. Dana Grover, the top Toyota in P10. Eugene Fedorov qualifies 11th in the Ford. In 12th, Gordon Carter, Jomar Peixoto will start 13th, and Steve Pierce starts 14th. It looks like we got 2 more drivers have joined us. Neto and Udichin have joined us as well. 16 drivers here so far. We'll keep our fingers crossed that Jelson Neto is able to keep his connection. He's been saying he's having some connection issues. Hopefully he'll get that worked out. Don't forget to help me out by going down in the description of the race and clicking on the Sim Lab web link. I'm an affiliate through them. If you'd like to purchase something through them, please use my link. I have a Sim Lab sim rig. I have the GT1 Evo sim rig, and I have been, I'll tell you what, I do my broadcasting, I do my racing from it, of course. And, man, it was easy to put together. Cake. And then also I can buy extra pieces, custom pieces, and attach it to the sim rig. No problems, man. Have my DD1 wheelbase, and this thing is rock solid, man. Really is. And please give those guys a look. Help me out here at TurnLeftTV by clicking on that link. Also, EliteHostingUSA.com if you're interested in a website or your server. Check out EliteHostingUSA.com. That's who provides our servers here at TurnLeftTV. Gotta have that flying in, huh? No? That flies in. There we go. See, there's a lot of room to race here. It's an all South American trilogy right there, isn't it? Nico Alvarez, Argentinian, and a couple Brazilians there mixing it up. You really do have a really great South American following as well. Really appreciate that. Race with those guys at NASCAR VR on Monday night, and they had a huge field. And it was a lot of fun in the trucks, man. NASCAR VR Monday nights. Truck Series starts about 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Let's take a look at the keys to the race here tonight at Iowa. Corner entry. Man, to set yourself up for a good transition through the turns, it's all about corner entry here, man. Either you burn those tires up or you save those tires. Traffic management. As you see, we got a pretty decent sized field here tonight, and there's a lot of room to race, and you're going to be able to race side by side a bit. So you're going to have to be able to manage that traffic. Throttle control coming off the turns. Keep that car from coming around, especially when those tires start to wear out. Save those tires, man. They're going to be important in those long runs. And make good pit stops. You're going to have to pit entering turn 3, and it's 45 miles an hour tonight. It's a little fast, in my opinion, at this track for pit lane, so that's not too bad. But getting on and off pit lane is going to be a key to this race. If it's anything like last week when we had a caution-free race at Bristol. So those are my keys to the race here at Iowa. This track does lend itself a little bit to for some aggressive driving, so you're going to have to be really, really careful here. We're on board here with Argentietta. Hopefully he'll play along with us and give us an idea of what it's like to turn a lap here. Do you see him counter steering right there on corner entry? Track rubber's in. It's going to get a little bit loose, and it's a little bumpy there. That high line is in play. Very feather in the throttle. Throttle control through the Alvarez diving down to the inside. See that outside line gets a good run. Good side-by-side racing here. It's going to have to be patient. Dan Ricker in the 65 car. This might be a track really that favors his driving style. He loves to run the high line. You've seen him win a lot of races in that high line. And, really smart driver too. He's working that calculator throughout the race. And I think this may be a track that really favors his driving style. I mean, when it's go time, there are few drivers that can go like that 65. Now Jelson Netto here joining us tonight. He's in the 5X car. Good to see Jelson out again. Raced with us at Bristol. Had a good race, and hopefully we'll see him have a good finish here tonight. He's having a little bit of connection issue here tonight, so hopefully he gets that worked out. Gave him a few suggestions, and it seemed maybe to have worked for him. Keep our fingers crossed. Sean Jacobs out here tonight, the 24, one of our admins, taking on the admin duties, doing the DM. Appreciate his help tonight, a little short staff. 24, Sean Jacobs from the Pennsylvania area. Shouldn't be Pennsylvania area, it's just Pennsylvania. Three minutes left to go, and again, let's take a look at the schedule. Next week will be a Daytona road course, 40-lap race. And, man, that's going to be a fun one, man. We haven't been to Daytona road course in a long, long time, and we'll see how that goes. That's coming up next week right here in the Buschwackers Series. Couple minutes left here in the warm-up session. About the 51 Captain Morgan sponsor machine. Anytime he wins, the whole crew here at High Octane Racing League gets some Captain Morgan. He works for Audio Engine, I believe. Laying off the wall there a little bit. Maybe he thought maybe he knew we were talking about it. Don't forget the IndyCar Series will be back in action at Gateway Raceway coming up tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Man, we had a great race last week at Iowa in IndyCars, and Gateway is, I think, a really, really fun track in IndyCars, man. I like Gateway, that egg-shaped oval located in Madison, Illinois, just outside of St. Louis, and I really do think that is a great track for IndyCars. That's going to be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, these guys getting after it here. About 40 seconds left, less than a minute to go in the warm-up session. Get your picks in now. So my pick tonight, get my pick in. My pick tonight, Archer Vieta. That's who I'm picking to win this race. That's a pretty safe bet, huh? He's going to be in the hunt, you know. Unless some problem takes him out. All right, boys and girls, let's rock and roll. Let's get this party started, huh?
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
All right, boys and girls, here we go. Let's take a look at the starting order here tonight at Iowa. Franco Alvarez, Team Swoop, in the 83 starts P1. Claudio Bardelli Jr. starts second. Archer Vieta, Dan Richter, row number 2. Row number 3 will be Craig Marizon and Chris Hughes. John Stanley, Sean Jacobs, row number 4. Row number 5 will be Givaldo Spindle and Dana Grover. Eugene Fedorov, Gordon Carter will be make up row number 6. Row number 7 will be Jomar Peixoto and Steve Pierce. Row 8, Jelson Neto and Dennis Unichin. And starting at P17 will be Ritsky and Novar. So I'll tell you what, man, this is going to be a fun one here. Hopefully these guys exercise a little patience here tonight. This thing can get out of hand in a hurry, so. Well, Alvarez is the pole setter, and he will lead the field to take the green flag here for 175 laps. Already Bardelli Jr. trying to get in his head a little bit. Alvarez, Bardelli Jr., Vieta, Richter. 1 through 4. Marizon 5th, Hughes 6th, Stanley 7th, Jacobs 8th, Spindle in 9th, and Dana Grover starts in 10th. Feel that intensity a little bit here.
Green flag, go, go, go.
Here we go. Bardelli Jr. on the inside line in an 83 car. Drifted up there. He got the room he needed. Oh, he was awful close to the wall coming off the turn. Bardelli Jr. in 2nd. Vieta 3rd. Richter 4th. Marizon is in 5th. No sense of urgency right now, I don't think. You see Bardelli Jr. running in the 2nd position, but Archie Vieta right there behind, on board here with Bardelli Jr. Starting to use that high line as Alvarez feels a little bit more comfortable in that low line. There's a different strategy here. Now Alvarez diving up there to the high line, saving some tires. Take a look here, the 51 and the 47 getting after it here. The 51, Steve Pierce. Oh, man, he drifted up there. He tried to get underneath that 47 car, but the 47 had an outside line. And that got tight right there. Wow. And the 51 tried to get around that 47. Eugene holding on to that spot. Eugene Fedorov and Ritsky Novar. Novar to the outside. Eugene Fedorov in that 84 car up on the outside line, making contact with the outside wall. And now Unichin all over the back of him. Fedorov trying to recover that a little bit. Unichin backs off of that Toyota. Steve Pierce back there in P17. Jomar Peixoto in the 71 car, and Jelson Neto in the 5X battling it out. It looks like Jomar's going to get around, but Jelson fighting back on the outside line. So Jelson's got a good run on that outside. Now, talking about that in a pre-race show, how that outside line is pretty good here. And now Peixoto now giving up a position. It looks like Gordon Carter might be on the move as well. So Gordon Carter now getting around the 71 car. We got a battle here for the race lead. The 19 car to the inside of the 83. Claudio Bardelli Jr. squeezing that 83 car a little bit. The 19 of Claudio Bardelli Jr. trying to push the issue here on the inside. As he gets around the 83, and it looks like Jomar. Oh, man. Oh, hard on the brakes there for the 83. Almost got back in the back of the 19. I'm not sure what happened to Jomar. Maybe he lost his connection here. 71. Yeah, it does look like he might have lost his connection. What a tough break there for Jomar here early on. 24, Sean Jacobs in the 7 of Chris Hughes. You see 89, Dana Grover as well. And the 24 Vulcan-sponsored Camaro now getting it around up to P6. So the 24 car is starting to move forward here. Dana Grover going to try to follow him through. On board here with Dana Grover on the high line, trying to follow that Cal U-sponsored machine through. And he gets through as Chris Hughes in the 7. Jomar Sumo-Givaldo up there kicking up a little duster on that outside. As the 89 now moves up to P7, Chris Hughes falls back to P8. Eugene Fedorov and Dennis Unichin having a little bit of a disagreement right now. Snow Maiden 84 getting by. Unichin falling back to P15 as Eugene Fedorov moves forward in P14. Get back up here to our race lead, and that is the race leader. That's Claudio Bardelli Jr., although he has not been able to run away from the 83 car. My pick to win this race is running in P3 right now, and that is Archer Vieta, but he's got Dan Richter and Craig Bearzon all over the back of him. So great line of cars here as Bardelli Jr. starting to use that outside line. Take a look at Craig Bearzon out of the front of his machine at Dan Richter, the 65. Also the 4 of Archer Vieta, and Dan. Oh, Bearzon peeking on the inside line. He's going to leave that door open on the outside. You got to play a little protect there. Little defense on the outside as Sean Jacobs trying to sneak around. Oh, the 19 down to the inside. The 19 to the inside. Something happened to him. Holy smokes. What happened to the 19? Take a look here. 19 car here on the inside as Alvarez gets by. The 19 trying to sneak back through. And then, oh man, yeah, he's all right there. But what happened to him? He fell back. Oh, he gets into the back of the 83. Back in the 83, does a great job of holding on to that thing. And also the 60 car does a great job of getting through and not panicking. Wow. On board here with Vieta. Watch this. Look at that. Oh, Vieta does a great job. But also Richter getting through as well. Not panicking. Craig Bearzon getting through. Wow. Guys are starting to take a few risks here. The Bardelli Jr. now back to P8. P7, I should say. And this battle here between the 10 and the 12 getting a little heated. As Ritsky Novar getting through, picking up P10 as the 12 of John Stanley is in 11th. We got a new race leader, and that is Archer Vieta. Take a look at that pass. As Archer Vieta getting around the 83 car. The 83 goes to the inside. He's been dipping down to that inside, but he's leaving that outside open, and the outside, I think, is the preferred line to be able to get around, and Archer Vieta now our new race leader. Take a look at our side-by-side view here as Bardelli Jr. trying to play some catch-up as now finds himself back to P7 here on lap 20. Artivieta is our leader. Franco Alvarez in P2, Richter in third, Jacobs fourth, Marizon rounding out the top five. Now Alvarez there starting to climb back up onto the back of the 4-car. Take a look at Dan Richter here running in the third position. Good night here for him. And I said I thought he would be really pretty solid at this track. And he's looking pretty solid right now in P3. Start to look on the inside of that 83 car. Morgelli Jr. here looking to try to get back around, and he's diving down to the inside of the 89. So the 19 and the 89 having a little bit of a disagreement. Oh, Morgelli Jr. needs a little bit more track, and not going to get it from the 89. And the 89 holding on to that spot. No, it's still side by side. And Morgelli Jr. now steps on the throttle and gets around the 89 car. Maybe that 89, Dana Grover said, hey, man, I don't want to waste my tires here right now. A long race to go. No sense in overdriving this thing, getting myself into trouble. Take a look at Gelson Neto here in the 5X. He and Ritsky Novar are having a good battle. Ritsky Novar is in P8. And Gelson now has the 7 of Chris Hughes and also the 12 of John Stanley. Good tight battle here. And Chris Hughes diving down to the inside. Gelson Neto looked like he might have wanted that spot. Chris Hughes goes way down to the inside. He might end up giving up a position there as John Stanley going to use the outside line to sneak around. So a little risky move there by Chris Hughes on board here with John Stanley running behind Gelson Neto. Ritsky Novar up there in P8. Chris Hughes somewhere around here. Chris Hughes backing off, taking his time, running in P11. Gordon Carter running in the 12th position in that 56 car. High place moving sponsor machine. We've got some good racing here. 26 laps in. A lot of racing to go. Artivieta is our leader, but Franco Alvarez giving it another shot here on the inside line. Take a look out of the front of, Gelson Neto in that 5X car dropping back. Gelson Neto dropping back here in the 5X car as Gordon Carter gets by. Something happened to Gelson. He lost a couple positions, it looks like. Take a look at Gelson Neto here in the 5X machine. John Stanley goes down to the inside. Oh, man, he got up in the kitty litter. 5X car got up into the kitty litter and slams the back end of that car into the wall. And he's going to lose some positions here. The back end starting to get a little bit loose, especially when you get up in that gravel. Up in the dirty stuff. There's Alvarez back to the race lead. Vieta is in second. Dan Richter third. Jacobs is in fourth. Haven't checked in on Sean Jacobs here as of late. He's running in P4. Good battle up front. This top five. All very, very tight. Nose to tail here. See guys using the outside line. A little counter steering right there. Car's a little bit loose. It's tight and it's loose. See, pretty good there through 3 and 4. 1 and 2. Up in the kitty litter a little bit higher entry there. There's a little counter steer. Try to set that car up. And Marizon was giving it a look. John Stanley, Ritzky Novar here battling. It looks like Novar on the outside line. This diehard-sponsored Ford Mustang on the inside line. Oh, there's contact right there. Little rubbins racing. The 12 car and the 10 get together. And the 10 gets out of the throttle, almost gets into the back of the 12 car. And this is getting wadded up right here. Bardelli Jr., Dana Grover, John Stanley, Ritzky Novar, all battling for position. John Stanley starting to move up. Oh, no, the 19 up into the wall. 19 gets into the wall, and he's going to give up a couple positions. So now Novar and Stanley both get by. Wow. That got crazy there. We'll take a look at this earlier. With John Stanley getting to the inside right here. And, man, I'll tell you, Novar in that middle line. And there's a little contact right there. Just a little kiss. We can take a look at the Bardelli Jr.'s car at that action. Right here, a little kiss right there by the 12 car. Making a little room for himself. Alvarez continuing to lead here. He now has a 1.2 second lead over Dan Richter, who is now in P2. Take a look at that pass there at Dan Richter. Claiming P2. Richter at a 65 going down to the bottom line as the 4 of Art Viera on the outside line. This Boom Boo Rum sponsored Ford Mustang now in P2. I told you in the pre-race show when you watch this 65 car, this is a track that I think he would excel at. He likes that high line. He likes to be a little aggressive sometimes. He knows how to save his tires. Keep your eye on the 65. Now finds himself in the second position. Thanks to all those people out here watching the race here tonight. I appreciate you tuning in to TurnLeftTV. As Franco Alvarez is our leader. 39 laps in. A little bit of a longer than normal race. The guys sort of talked about that last week and how they thought the 125 laps was a little bit too short. So guys were leaning for the 175. We'll see how they feel after 175 laps. As Franco Alvarez getting around some lap traffic there. Waldo Spindler now going a lap down. He is the first car one lap down in the lucky dog position. Chris Hughes and Dana Grover here battling it out. Chris Hughes to the inside. We saw him try this a little bit earlier and not able to pull it off. And I think you're going to have to try to get that car to the outside to make some passes there. But Chris Hughes gave it a gallant effort out there on that attempt. Valdo Spindle and Dennis Udichin. Udichin on the outside line of the 47 car. Givaldo on the inside line. Those guys are one lap down. Dennis Udichin battling for the lucky dog position with Givaldo. And Art Vieta now in the mix here. They're going to go 3 wide. Oh, man, 3 wide here through this area. Sean Jacobs going to make it 4 wide. My God. As a 68 car getting down, he said, I want out of this. So Vieta getting through, 24 getting through. Those guys on the lead lap weaving their way through. Great battle here with the 24 and the 4. Craig Marizon also in this mix. Vieta is in the 4 car. The Sean Jacobs in the 24. Wow, what a great battle there. Now we got some guys coming down pit lane here. I think Eugene Fedorov indicating he's coming down pit lane. Alvarez still out there on the track. We find out where he's at. 83 indicating he's coming down pit lane. So our race leader indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane to take some service here on lap 46 as Eugene Fedorov on pit lane taking service. Oh, man, that was fast there by the 83 car. That was fast. Got to be careful, man. You do not want to get caught speeding here. It's Fedorov finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track. As you see Franco Alvarez tucking into his pit stop. Our race leader is Dan Richter, trying to maybe run a fuel mileage race here. Penalty. Gelson Neto has a penalty. He's going to have to do a drive-through. Dan Richter indicating he's coming down pit lane. So Franco Alvarez back out on track. So our race leader is the 65 of Dan Richter. Gordon Carter coming off the track to come down pit lane. Dan Richter giving up the race lead to make a pit stop. And I would suggest to you that may end up giving the race lead to Dana Grover, and he is in fact our race leader. '89 car says he's coming down pit lane this time by. Up on the high line, going to let these guys go. He's indicating he's going to pit. A lot of traffic here, man. A lot can go wrong. Staying down on that apron, man, and hoping a caution flag doesn't come out. The barrels are where the pit timing line is. Ardelli Jr. back to the race lead as we watch Dana Grover on pit lane. Ritzky Novar slamming the wall coming off the pits. I don't know what's going on there with Ritzky. Something happened to Ritzky Novar. Bardelli Jr. on pit lane. This is an interesting pit stop here for Bardelli Jr. in the 19 car. We're not sure what's going on with Bardelli Jr., but that is an interesting pit stop. Maybe he stayed out. Got my math wrong here. Dan Richter now our race leader, so Bardelli Jr. back on the pit lane. And I believe that is an unscheduled pit stop for Bardelli Jr. They haven't figured out what happened to Novar. Dan Richter is our leader. Bardelli Jr. comes back onto the track, and he is in P10. Franco Alvarez is in second. Vieira third. Jacobs fourth. Verazon in fifth. So Ford out front, and then we got 4 Chevys. Pop Toyota is in P9, and that is Dana Grover. Pete Pearson, a 51 car, now moving up to P15. This is Captain Morgan sponsor machine. Had a little bit of a tough night here, 4 laps down in the 51 car, keeps plugging away. Givaldo on pit lane. Not sure what's going on with Givaldo. Givaldo extended pit stop there for him. As we take a look at our side-by-side view, and Givaldo finishing up his pit stop, coming back onto the track, and that's an interesting situation there for the 68 car. They find him now at least 6 laps down. He might end up losing another lap here before he gets it back up onto the track. A tough break there for Givaldo, now down 7 laps. Take a look at Dennis Udich, and Dennis Udich has got a heck of a lot of damage here. Something's happened to him. Something's happened to Dennis Udich, and he has lost the hood of that car. No caution flag here so far. Dennis Udich has got to find a way to get this car down onto the bottom of the track and get this thing on the pit lane. And he needs a place to be able to get down to the inside. And there he goes. So something's happened to Dennis Udich. See if we can get a look here. What happened to Dennis Udich? I suspect the back end of the car came around on him. All right there for the Buffet Pizza sponsor machine. Big time issues for him. Looking pretty solid there, really, and there's a little bit of a lick right there, a little scrape in the right front. We're kind of waiting for that. We'll take a look at see what happened to him. But, man, he lost the whole front of his car. Something's happened to the 47 car. We're just trying to go back through here and take a look. Would have maybe contact there with Fedorov, I'm not sure, but take a look at the 47, and there's something that happened to him, and he has lost his whole hood of his car, and we're just going through a replay here and just see what happened to this car. There might have been contact between he and Fedorov. I heard there was a little bit of conversation on the radio between the two. Right there. Oh, man. Yeah, Fedorov dove down to the inside and got into Dennis Udich. That was the conversation that I heard. Man, that was a hard lick. We go back to live here as 65, Dan Richter, the leader. Franco Alvarez in this mix. Now, Bardelli Jr. in this trilogy, but he is shown in the 8th position. He is first car 1 lap down. And he's wedged in there between P1, P2. Yudichyn is on pit lane now, taking service. That car is in big-time problems. There was a hard lick for him. He's missing a right front tire. Dan Richter is leading. And I think if you're Dan Richter, you got to like the fact that Bardelli Jr. is wedged between you and P2. As Yudichyn extended pit stop there for him. He's going to be on pit lane for a while. 70 laps in, Dan Richter the leader. Bardelli Jr. wanting to try to get that lap back the old-fashioned way. Personally, I'd be in a situation where I wouldn't be too worried about that. Although, he might be worried about it because Dana Grover is in P9, and he is the second car one lap down, and he is lining up onto the back of the 19. On board here with Dana Grover. See to the outside, feathering the throttle a little bit. Alvarez just ahead is in P2. Dana Grover to the inside. Alvarez using that outside to get a little run. Now Craig Marzon here running in P5. Good run here for Craig. Magpul Dynamic sponsor machine, number 60 car. One of our Michigan drivers. Ahead of him is Sean Jacobs running in the 4th position. Waldo running in P15, and he has got, he's about 7 laps down. Let John Stanley go. A little communication there with him. He said, go ahead, take that, get around me there on the low side. This guy's, really, Givaldo is one of the most polite guys out on the track. And we got our yellow flag. We have got a yellow flag. It looks like Bardelli Jr. off the pace. So our first yellow flag here, 76 laps in. And the 19 car might be involved. Let's take a look and see what happened. Bardelli Jr. to the outside, and in contact between he and the 83 car. Contact right there. Take a look at this again. The 83 and the 19 getting together there. And that is that's pretty tight. Board here with Franco Alvarez as a 19 into the wall. See right there, man. You take a look. A little bit of movement on both. There's both those guys part a little up, a little down. And a little around. Into the wall is Bardelli Jr. Richter had a bird's eye view of that one, didn't he? He had a ringside seat for that one. A little bit different story there when you look for that angle. Dana Grover had a good look at that as well, I believe. Dana Grover, I believe, had a pretty good look at that. Watch that. Out in front of his car. Those guys He's just hoping they don't come drifting back up the track, and they do, but he gets around.
Okay. Okay, got it.
First caution flag here of the night. That scares me a little bit. That scares me a little bit. Got some guys on pit lane. Grover, Fedorov, Carter, Novar, all on pit lane. Well, we are 79 laps in. Approaching halfway here fairly soon. And a long race, a little bit longer race here tonight. Guys had asked for this too. They said, hey man, we need to make this race a little bit longer than 125 laps. And don't forget, man, we got some more racing headed your way. More stock car racing this weekend. We will be right here at Iowa tomorrow in the Saturday Night Thunder. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Cup cars. That'll be a lot of fun in those cars. Race number 2 of the season, 175 laps. In the big boys. Come on out and join us. Beat the broadcaster night. Tough Trucks will be back in action next week at Atlanta Motor Speedway, race number 6 of the season. And this will be a 100-lap race. Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Tough Truck Series. Thanks to all those folks come out and watching live. Pace cars in, get ready to go back green. Here we go. Keep our fingers crossed. Alvarez on the inside, Vieta on the outside line for the restart. Here we go. Alvarez might have a little bit of damage to that car. Definitely came out not unscathed. Let's put it that way. As Alvarez clears Vieta. Maybe he's learned a little lesson from that first run. Going to use that outside line a little bit more. Vieta starting to push the issue there on the backside of the 83. On board here with Arjun Vieta. Dan Richter, Craig Marizon, P3, P4. Look at that pass there, Richter and Marizon. Richter on the outside line. Hard to make that pass on the inside. Especially on those restarts. I guess that's the best time to do it if you're going to do it. And the 65 gets by, is in P3. Marizon 4th. Sean Jacobs in the 5th position. Take a look at Sean Jacobs running in P5. And man, this is a mess up here. Dana Grover trying to inch down below. Has to back off. We got a little lap traffic as Givaldo rejoining the racing surface in that 68 car on the inside line. On board here with the 24, Sean Jacobs in P5. We go back up here to our race leader, the 83, Franco Alvarez. Bass Pro Shops sponsored Chevy Camaro. Dan Richter making a move here on Archie Vieta. Craig Marizon looking like he wants to follow. Looking out of the back of Richter's car at Archie Vieta, now back in P3. And Dan Richter gave it a peek on the inside line. Say Craig Marizon gave it a peek on the inside line. We're on board here with Dan Richter. And he's now peeking on the inside. Ritsky Novar in the 10. Got around Gordon Carter. Go back here and take a look at there's been a little bit of a warping issue. Take a look at that, see what happened to Givaldo. Givaldo down on the inside here. Might be thinking about coming down, back down pit lane. No, he dives down to the inside. He is having a tough night here, man. Down 11 laps. He got himself behind the 8 ball pretty early. Ritsky Novar, Dana Grover. Novar getting around Grover. Just behind is Gordon Carter. Carter and Dana Grover battling it out. John Stanley as well. John Stanley is, Novar is a lap down, and Carter and Grover also a lap down. That battle up front starting to heat up here a little bit. As Dan Richter is in second, Vieta third, Marizon is in fourth, Jacobs in fifth. Take a look at this pass here as Gordon Carter working that outside line, not able to pull off that pass as Dana Grover holding on to that spot. Gordon Carter gave it an effort there using the outside, but not able to pull that off. Maybe next time by. Going back here to live as Alvarez leading, but Richter right there. Richter running in P2, looking out behind Richter's car. Man, there's not a lot of room. As Vieta all over the back of him, Marizon is in fourth. You see Sean Jacobs running P5. Ritsky Novar a lap down, running in the 9th position, but he's in this mix. Look at this, Archie Vieta going to the outside line. Vieta trying to make it happen on the inside line. Also, Dan Richter moving to the inside on Franco Alvarez. He says, I can do it, man. I can make this pass on the inside. Franco Alvarez says, I don't think so. And that's going to leave the door open for Vieta on the outside line. Vieta to the outside, and Richter's going to give up a spot. Richter now to P2. Vieta to P2. Richter now back to third. He has to tuck in. What a battle there. And that was a cagey move by Archie Vieta. Wow. Take a look at that again. Richter goes to the inside. He's trying that pass on the inside line for on Alvarez, and he leaves the door open on the outside. Trying to pull that off, and he's still leaving the door open there. Watch this. He's going to dive down again, and Vieta says, thank you very much. I'm going to take that spot. And he squeezes that car in there. And that's KG Veteran right there. That is KG Veteran. And Sean Jacobs may have dropped his connection. He may have lost Sean. Looks like he's lost his connection. Wow, what a tough break there for Sean. He's having a good race. P5. Take a look here. I know they've had some weather there up in that Pennsylvania area. So, yeah, it does look like he's lost his connection. That is unusual for Sean, but I know they've got some bad weather up in that area, too. Really some bad high winds and some storms moving through. A lot of snow in that area of the country. And hopefully everything okay there for Sean. That battle for P2, heating back up there as Bardelli Jr. gets around and leaves that door open for maybe Marizon or Richter. If Vieira able to manage that issue, Bardelli Jr. gets around the race leader. And Bardelli Jr. is one lap down. He's trying to get himself caught back up to Novar, Carter, Grover, Fedorov. We're all ahead of him, and Aritsky Novar is in the lucky dog position. Franco Alvarez is the leader, and I think the best action right now is up front. Franco Alvarez is the leader, about a 1 second lead over Archivieta. Dan Richter is in third position, Marizon fourth, Stanley up to the fifth position. How about John Stanley plugging away? He's had some good battles here. Finds himself in P5 in the 12 car. Good run here, 106 laps in. We got a little bit to go, 70 laps to go. Stanley having a good night here in P5. Waldo had a tough night there, had to retire his machine. What a shame there for Waldo. We don't normally see him having nights like that where he has to retire his car, but he just had a really, really tough night. '60 car here. Oh, Arthur Vieta hard into the wall. Arthur Vieta hard into the wall as Dan Richter gets by. Wow. Arthur Vieta in the wall. Dan Richter, Marizon also gets by. Let's see what happened to Arthur. He got up into the gravel. Car starts getting a little bit loose right there. Runs away from him. Slamming there. I think he tried to get down, pull it off the wall, and then he saw the '60 car below him, and he jerked the wheel back to the right. On here again as we go back to find out where he's at. Oh, man, that was a hard lick. That was a hard lick right there. Get in front of Marizon's car. Watch this. You're going to see that 4 car just slam off the wall. And then and more slamming off the wall as Marizon is going to get by. Vieira all over the wheel on that. Watch this. On board here with him, and he's slamming the wall right there. And then, oh, man. And the 60 car gets by. He does a great job of keeping that car out of the side of the 60. And he's going to have some right side damage. Undoubtedly, he's going to have to get taken care of. Sean Jacobs retiring his machine. Lost his connection. A tough break there for Sean. He's having a pretty good race here, running in P5. Things got away from him. They look like 4 cars out of the race. Steve Pierce out of the race as well. You might have, we've got some bad weather here in the United States right now, and Steve Pierce in the 51 car. Now he dives down to pit lane here. He's coming down pit lane, so I don't see a connection loss there for him. I think he just had a tough night here, and he's retired his car. 4 cars out of the race. What a tough break there for 51. Dan Richter running in the second position, about 2.5 second gap. It was 3 seconds, and he drifts the car up the track. Take a look at Chris Hughes here. He's running in the 6th position. Take a look at that gap there between he and John Stanley in P5. So about 1.5 seconds there to P5. Little bit tight there as he drifted up the track. That car drift there and scraping the wall a little bit. Probably not too much. Probably pretty insignificant damage if so. That does cost him some time. And John Stanley running in P5. Take a look at Ritzky Novar having a pretty good night here, running into 7th position, but he and Gordon Carter having a little fist fight right now. Gordon Carter in the 56, just behind the 10. And this is for position. This is for P7. Gordon Carter in 8th in the 56. Ritzky Novar in that Toyota running in P7. Good battling here for position. Dana Grover kind of out there by himself right now. He's got a fair gap there between he and in our 8th position car, Gordon Carter. At a 12-second gap or so. Is running in the 9th position. Rounding out the top 10 is Eugene Fedorov in the 84 car. He said it was like minus 27 degrees Celsius there. So pretty cold there for the Russian. Those guys are used to that. Going to eat borscht. Alvarez leads now 4 seconds. Boy, that battle in that first run, 4 pit stops, was really, really intense. He's now clearing the lap car of Claudio Bardelli Jr. He's 1 lap down in P11. He's giving it a shot anyway. Bardelli Jr. going to make him earn it. Bardelli Jr. running in the 11th spot. I think Utichin might be coming down pit lane in the 47 car. It does look like now Utichin finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track. Artur Vieira's on pit lane. And I hear also that our race leader, Franco Alvarez, is going to be coming down pit lane. Franco Alvarez making a pit stop. Gordon Carter on pit lane. Franco Alvarez got to be careful not to speed. And he practices that stuff too. Franco Alvarez on pit lane. Also, Gordon Carter on pit lane. Carter finishing up his pit stop. I think John Stanley coming down pit lane here in the 12. This might be the last pit stop for these guys, too. See how that shakes out as far as laps under green that these guys can get on fuel. Chris Hughes is our leader, but although he, I believe, said he's going to be coming down pit lane here this time by, there are a lot of guys on pit lane. I think Vieira started that charge. Chris Hughes coming off track to come down pit lane in the 7 car. Be really, really careful not to speed. Is Alvarez back out on the track? .8-second gap there. Actually, looks like the cars that are pit. He's got about a 7-second gap there on Dan Richter. Chris Hughes on pit lane, taking service in the 7 car. Back out in P5 into 7. Good pit stop there for him. John Stanley on pit lane. Pretty extended pit stop there for John Stanley. He might have got caught speeding. Alvarez leader. Richter is in 2nd. Marzon 3rd. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in 4th. Now, Bardelli Jr. pitted earlier. Chris Hughes is in 5th. And now Bardelli Jr. is making another pit stop there. So he was hoping for a caution flag, what he was doing. Bardelli Jr.'s had a tough night. uncharacteristic there for him, and now he is coming down pit lane to make his pit stop. So I think he was waiting. He was staying out a little bit long here to wait for maybe hope for a caution flag. And now he finds himself on pit lane. Oh, man, he comes up into traffic right there, and Vieta had to get out of the throttle. Wow! And now on cold tires. Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, my heavens, how does he keep from wrecking that thing? How in the world did that happen? Holy Toledo. He was absolutely cattywampus right there. Cattywampus. How in the world did Bardelli Jr. keep from wrecking that car? Look at this. He comes back up into traffic right there. And then as soon as he gets on the outside line, I don't know if it's cold tires or if he did a 2-tire stop. Whatever it was, that ain't working out for him. And then look at this. Oh, he's almost around, and he misses the barrels. My God. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it, man. And here's Gelson Neto spinning. And right here, look at that, Bardelli Jr. drifting up the track right there. And, wow, Vieta does a great job of staying out of that mess. And that got crazy there. And look at this. Right there, it just gets loose, snaps, misses the wall, but look at this. Misses the barrels. Wowza. Uncharacteristic there for Claudio. Looks like he's decided to retire his machine. He just had a tough night. Wowza. Some drama unfolding here late in the race. 5.3 second gap between Alvarez and Richter. Richter might need a little bit of a caution flag to sort of get back up there or have Alvarez get into some traffic. That got crazy, man. Wow, that was a uncharacteristic mistake there, I think, by the 19 car. Alvarez does find himself in a little bit of traffic there. On board here with Alvarez. See John Stanley just ahead. Now John Stanley one lap down. A little bit fresher tires than what Alvarez has right now. There's no urgency, I think, for Alvarez to be pushing the issue. He's got a 5-second lead, a little over a 5-second lead. He's diving down to the inside, getting a good run, using all the track coming off the turn, into turn 3, using the high line out of turn 3. Little counter steering there coming off. Saw guys doing that earlier. A bit lower line in the 12 car through 1 and 2. Again, staying at a high line. Likes that high line through 3 and 4. Out of the throttle early, diving down to the inside, trying to mash the gas here. A little bit of a bump there between 1 and 2. Got to be careful. Now he's beside the 12. So you saw he backed up that corner a little bit. And now he gets around the 12 car, not for position. They will put a little gap there between he and Richter. However, Richter has closed the gap, 4.7 seconds. But now he's got a pick, so to speak. As Richter is in the second position in the 65 car. 146 laps in. We might have another pit stop in us here. We'll see. There's one caution flag tonight. Take a look at Craig Marizon. He is in heavy traffic there, racing Arthur Vieira. Now, Vieira is in P5, 1 lap down. Marizon running in the 3rd position. And Marizon into 60, getting around. Guys kind of spread out right now. They're weaving their way through some lap traffic. So we said traffic management was one of those keys to the race there tonight, especially with the big field, short track. And the 60 car running in P3. Good top 5 run for Craig Marizon. Chris Hughes running in P5 as Franco Alvarez closes in. I believe Alvarez may have painted this scheme for Chris Hughes as well. Chris Hughes going down to the inside and letting Franco Alvarez go by. Take a look at Dennis Udich in the 47. He goes down to the inside, and I would suggest to you that he might be deciding he's going to come down pit lane here. Not sure about that 47. A little bit, he's had a rough night here. Heavy damage earlier in the race, and he had to have that thing repaired. He might be just getting his way, getting his car out of the way. He's running in the 12th position. Racing all the way from Kharkiv, Ukraine. Gets up really early, like 3 o'clock in the morning here to race with us. How about that, huh? One of the most popular drivers here at High Octane Racing League as well. That gap has diminished down to 4-second gap between Alvarez and Richter. So Richter's on the move. Can Alvarez hold him off? Alvarez might be saving a little bit. He's definitely cognizant of that gap. You know he's paying attention to that. This Bass Pro Shop sponsored Chevy Camaro. You're looking at around 4 to maybe 4.5 seconds between he and Richter. And Richter's got to get around 2 lap cars as well to be able to make a run at Franco Alvarez. Approaching 20 laps to go. Let's take a look at Gordon Carter here. Is running into 7th position. He and Ritsky Nova are having a good little battle here. This is 4th position. 56 and the 10. Oh, a little contact right there. Oh, a little bit of oomph on the 10 car. And the 56 might have gotten into that 10 car. Watch this. We get into the turn, and the 56 gets down there on the low side. Watch this. Oh, well, it looked like actually the 10 might have come down too. Looks like those guys got together. See right here as he goes down to the bottom, but watch the 10. He also comes across. If you watch that black line, those guys both headed for the same real estate, and bam, right there. And the 10 into the wall. Robbins Racing, according to Will D. Franco Alvarez says, I want nothing to do with that. I want nothing to do with that type of stuff. Been a pretty clean race here tonight. We've only had 1 caution flag, 159 laps in. These guys have done a great job, and it's been an exciting race as well. We've had a little bit of drama. A lot of drama tonight has been pit lane stuff. As Franco Alvarez now trying to get around the 47 car. Dennis Schuderson now, he's in 12th position. He is 18 laps down. Tough break there for him. He got a lot of damage early in the race and spent a lot of time on pit lane. John Stanley here running in P8. Plugging away here, another top 10 finish in the books, maybe for the 12 car. We got a little ways to go, but so far looking pretty hot. Dana Grover in the 89, racing from Trax VR tonight, is running in the 9th position. And they've had, if they're watching this race, they've had an exciting race to watch. It has been pretty exciting. And now these guys on these long runs. It looks like maybe Gelson Neto, man, he had some connection issues earlier. I helped him with a few suggestions, and it looked like he, in practice session, it didn't look like he was going to be able to race. I had him do a few things and, sort of shut down his modem, recycle his modem, and then also make sure all of his stuff connected to his Wi-Fi was off. And it seems to have helped his connection. Here he is in P11. He's 5 laps down. But a good race here for Gelson, one of our Brazilian drivers. Ahead of him is in P10, rounding out the top 10. Right now, Eugene Fedorov in the 84 car. I got to wonder if some of these guys might have to do a splash and go. I'm not sure where they are on fuel. Back here and look at our race leader, Franco Alvarez. Let's see that battle there. 6-second gap, almost a 7-second gap there on his. I think he might have been saving some tires there early in the run. And now that's helping him out here late in the run. 166 laps in, scheduled to go with 7.5. Take a look at Dan Richter here running in the 2nd position as he's in a little bit of lap traffic. Is the 7 car going to let him by? That gap was down as low about 4.1 seconds. But since the last 20 laps, Alvarez has been able to extend that lead. You can see Richter there getting by John Stanley. Alvarez now closing in on some lap traffic. Ritsky Novar in the 10 just ahead. That's going to slow him up a little bit. Novar getting up out of the way. Five laps to go for the 83 car. Victor and Marizan running P2, P3. Hughes in 4th. Vieira is in the 5th position. And what a battle we had with 5 cars up front. In that first run. It was just amazing. Starting that second run, things started to shake out a little bit. '83. Franco Alvarez talks about how much he really likes this track. He was excited to see this track on the schedule. He likes those short tracks. And it shows, man. Iowa is a fun track. Again, a lot of room to race here. You know, you got to learn how to drive the high line as well. See him closing in here with 2 laps to go on Gordon Carter trying to get by. Things go by in a hurry here as the 83 getting by the 56 car. Not for position. Cross the start-finish line. We'll have 1 to go for the 83. Franco Alvarez in that Bass Trackers sponsored Camaro. Bass Pro Shop sponsored Camaro. Down the backstretch into turn 3. And Franco Alvarez coming off the final turn is going to get the victory here at Iowa. What a win for Franco Alvarez. Great job, Franco Alvarez, on getting the win here in the Bass Pro Shop sponsored machine. And I think they had to stretch out some gas. Sorry, I sneezed. Had to try to click the mute button. I couldn't get to it. So congratulations to Franco Alvarez on getting the win. A fantastic run, the Franco Alvarez, and a good race overall, too. Well, good race there for the boys here tonight. '47 car had a tough night here. Kept plugging away, and Alvarez burning that engine up. I'd be saving that engine, man. Let's take a look at the final results. Franco Alvarez gets the win. Dan Richter finished in the second position. Craig Mayers on third. Chris Hughes, good run there for him in P4. Arthur Vieta finishes in the fifth position. Gordon Carter, another good run there for the 56 car, finishes in P6. Ritsky Dovar had a battle in that Toyota, but he is our top Toyota tonight. Finishes in P7. John Stanley 8th. Dana Grover finishes in that 9th position. Another good top 10 run there for Dana Grover. Eugene Fedorov finishes in 10th. Good top 10 run there for Eugene. P11 is Jelson Neto. Good to see that his connection held out. Dennis Schuchen finishes in the 12th position. Claudio Bardella Jr., tough night there for him. Finishes in P13. Steve Pierce 14th. Sean Jacobs 15th. And Givaldo Spindola 16th. Followed by Gilmar Peixoto in 17th. So great run there for Franco Alvarez. All right, Franco Alvarez joins us up here in the booth, and 2 wins, 2 races, 2 wins, both short tracks. And I have a feeling Iowa is one of those tracks that you really like.
Hey, Mr. Johnson. Hey, everybody. Oh my gosh. This track is rough, man. It was eating the tires like crazy. That was a really fun race, to be honest.
It was interesting to see the strategy you had entering or going through turns 1 and 2 versus turns 3 and 4. Was it, one's the high line, one you kind of dipped down there about a lane and a half or so. What was the story behind that?
Well, it was really weird, to be honest, because if you go through the outside like everybody, you had a good exit and a really slow entry. If you cut the corner in half like I was doing at the beginning of the race, I was really fast through the middle of the corner, but I will lose everything on the backstretch. So that was a lane to try to make a move on turn 3. It was eating the tires more doing that than going to the outside, but I was trying something different just to pass the guys because everybody was so fast today. It was so difficult to make a move. I was just trying to figure it out a new lane to get something done.
Man, you had a lot of guys up front with you too. Richter was up front, Marzon up front, Arthur Vieira, Bardelli Jr., all those guys. You could have thrown a blanket all over the top of you guys. You guys were so close together. What was the racing like there in that first run?
I mean, from what I saw from warm-up and from quali with the top 3 in 9/1000ths of a second, I knew this was going to be a really close race. But I didn't expect it to be so difficult to pass. Like, I was behind Arthur and Dan. Man, I was trying everything I had and I couldn't make a move. I was depending on traffic or strategies, so everybody was really fast today and it was crazy. There was like 5 or 6 guys who could win the race easily on pace. So, yeah, really interesting to be honest.
Yeah, it looked like that first round of pit stops kind of shook things up a little bit. And of course, we had that one caution flag, but at any given time, we had some guys maybe getting up, hitting the wall, and maybe the guys that make the fewest mistakes are the ones that rise to the top and win the race.
Yeah, I was surprised by the amount of attrition we had today considering the lack of cautions. That caught me by surprise when I saw 4 or 5 DNFs. So, yeah, the problem with the track is it's really easy to get loose and it's easy to hit the wall. And if you hit the wall, you're done. So, this track doesn't give you a second chance.
Well, next week we have Daytona Road Course. I'm not sure how you feel about that track. A little bit different mix here. We're going to be at Daytona 3 times this season. Road Course, and then a couple short races in the Daytona Duels, and then Daytona International, a full Monty on 16 February. But we're going to score to settle with the Road Course next week. What's the plan for you?
Well, the plan is to have fun. I love road courses with this car. I really do. And I just want to go and win another one. I want to increase the lead in the championship as much as I can, so I can secure the 3rd championship here in HORL.
Well, hey, good luck to you, man. Great job. Very entertaining race tonight, and congratulations on your 2nd win, and good luck next week at Daytona Road Course.
Thanks, Heath. It's really, really good to put the number 83 in victory lane again. So thank you for the work you do. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Franco Alvarez joining us up here in the booth, and congratulations to him. Another win for Franco Alvarez, and he had to work his butt off for that one, that's for sure. And you can tell, man, he comes out throughout the week. He gets, he practices at home and so forth, and figures these tracks out and figures out what he wants to do to be able to win this race. Your way. How about race number 2 at Iowa in the Saturday Night Thunder? That's going to be a fun one. The big boys will be out at Iowa tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We call this Beat the Broadcaster Night. Am I really going to get out of the broadcast booth and get out at Iowa? I guess. That's what I say. 175 laps coming up tomorrow in Iowa in the Saturday Night Thunder. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll be at Gateway Raceway for race number 4 of the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series season. And a 150-lap race in that great IndyCar series. That should be a fun one. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. That's coming up tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in to TurnLeftTV to check that one out. Tonight's race has been brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you're interested in an rFactor 2 server, or how about an WordPress hosting or online store hosting, VPS hosting, and shared web hosting, well, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. And that's EliteHostingUSA.com. Thanks so much for joining me here on the YouTube channel tonight, man. I really appreciate everybody being here and checking out the race. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button to get this video out there to people to see. I saw a lot of people here watching the race tonight. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well and smash that bell. You get updates of when races are going live. Really appreciate everybody joining me here on TurnLeftTV tonight. It's been a lot of fun broadcasting this race. The High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks will be back in action on Tuesday, January the 16th. A 100-lap race from Hotlanta. That should be a fantastic one. So don't miss it. Race number 6 of the season. If you'd like to come out and join us, racing starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks. Don't forget to join us over at highoctaneracing.net. You'll get a quick link to our Discord server where we do most of our business. You get updates of point standings, as well as quick links to the broadcast, and also schedules, what we're racing and when. We got 4 race series going on right now, and it is a lot of fun here at High Octane Racing League. This season, or this league, I should say, has been going on for 22 years. Congratulations to Franco Alvarez on getting the win tonight. We'll see what he's got in store at Daytona Road Course next week. Until then, that's going to do it for me. I am out of here.